Hey, if you're looking to start a restaurant and you are trying to do some market research to understand where you should locate your restaurant, how much customer traffic can you expect to your restaurant, and can you base that on other competitors or similar restaurant concepts in similar locations to yours? How much website traffic might you be able to expect? And things of this nature. You've come to the right place. We have put together a market research report built specifically for a restaurant here. And I'm going to demo this report here. And we used a bunch of free tools. So a number of different free tools that will give you access to different data. And I'm going to show you those. There's also a few tools that are paid. Some may have a free trial. There's some premium tools that would have some more extensive data that you may find useful in your process as well. So before I dive into the report, just a little bit of background about me. I'm Adam Hoeksema. I'm the co-founder of Projection Hub, and we focus specifically on helping clients create financial projections for potential investors and lenders. We have a number of financial projection templates for lots of different industries, particularly with our restaurant templates. One of our challenges has been there's an assumption that kind of is like, hey, how many customers are you going to have each month? Once you know that, then we can understand what's the average order, how many customers per month. And a lot of times our clients are just guessing. They're just throwing out a random guess, maybe based on the capacity of their restaurant, but it's just kind of a guess. And we hate that. We don't want you to just have to guess. We want to try to provide some data if we can. And so that's the purpose of trying to do these market research reports. And with that, I'll get to it here and dive in. Okay, so let's say we're going to open Stone Creek Steakhouse in the Indianapolis area. And the first thing we want to look at is our market demand. And we looked up keywords like Indianapolis Steakhouse, Steakhouse in Indianapolis, and we saw that those keywords are receiving 6,600 monthly searches. We also see how much advertisers are paying per click for these keywords. So this could be your competitors, and it could also inform you how much you might have to pay if you want your website to show up for these keywords. So 13 cents on the low end to 90 cents on the high end per click. We can also get with Google Keyword Planner a list of other keywords that are similar or relevant. We get an average number of monthly searches. We can see 3-month trends, whether that search volume is growing or decreasing, and year-over-year changes, as well as the competition. So is this a low competition or high competition keyword that will hopefully be really relevant for you? The other thing we like to look at is seasonality in demand. You know, certain restaurants and certain types of businesses are very seasonal. We looked up steakhouses near me on Google Trends, which is another free tool. And what we can see here is that there is a bit of a seasonal pattern here. These huge spikes that you see are actually Valentine's Day, but you see a little bit common high points and low points throughout the year, but it's relatively steady actually. So that can be helpful. Not every restaurant is going to be that way. Obviously, an ice cream shop, for example, is going to have much higher search volume in the warmer months, right? So that could be helpful for your particular type of restaurant. Now, let's say you've picked out a location that you'd like to locate in, and the building that you're looking at has been empty. And so getting foot traffic volume to an empty building over the last period of time is not going to be all that helpful. So what we've done is, okay, let's say we can find another location that is near your proposed location. So let's say this is where you're going to locate your steakhouse. We don't have a lot of great data on it, but there is a strip mall here that shares a parking lot with this proposed location. And it's been full. And so we can actually get traffic estimates to this building. And so we see over the last month, the strip mall building has had 11,000 visitors. We can see the estimated traffic over the previous 12 months and the changes in that as well. Now, the other thing that's I think even more beneficial is doing a similar approach, but for competitors. So we can take a competitor. So let's take Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, and we put their address in our tool that we partnered with Advan Research. They're able to find this foot traffic data. So they can tell us how much space they're renting. So this restaurant's 2,217 square feet. They can estimate their traffic, so 5,000 visits last month. And in this example, with this restaurant, they can even estimate their annual sales. So that can be a lot more useful to you to understand, okay, how is that going to compare to what I'm doing? If Ruth's Chris is kind of the high end of the market and I'm going to come in and compete with them, you know, if my projections show that I'm going to have 20,000 visits on month one, 4 times the volume of Ruth's Chris, probably not, right? So this data can help you kind of understand what is a reasonable assumption in your business plan and financial model. We can also take competitors' websites and put them in a tool called Ahrefs. So it's ahrefs.com. And again, I think this is the tool that should have a free trial that you may be able to use to get this data, but you can put a customer's website in and it will tell you what keywords they are ranking well for and where they're getting customer traffic from. So this can help you figure out what keywords you might want to compete for yourself. So we can look again at a second competitor. So let's look at Sullivan Steakhouse, another similar competitor. They're getting a few more visits, much larger footprint, and quite a bit more in sales estimate here as well. The next thing we can get is some site selection data that could be useful as you're trying to figure out where to locate. And so what I like to look at is these customer heat maps. So I can put in a competitor. So let's say Sullivan Steakhouse, and I put in their address, and then I look at this customer heat map. And this tells me the blue represents where the customers live. And so we can see customers are coming really from a wide area traveling to Sullivan Steakhouse. So this black dot represents where Sullivan Steakhouse is located. Maybe we're going to open our steakhouse here in Carmel, and we think we can capture the customers that live up north here. Instead of having to drive down south, they can come directly to us. Finally, demographic data can be useful for looking to open a high-end steakhouse. We want to know that we're in an area with high median household income that has disposable income to spend at a nice restaurant. So the last thing that we include here is just kind of a data dump here of all the customer foot traffic for the target location dating back as far as we have it to 2016, as well as all the keywords that are related and would be relevant for you to potentially compete for here. So that is the market research report. Again, there are a number of free tools that we use to put this together. We'll put links to those free tools down in the description of the video below, so you can pull this together. But if you're looking at this and you're like, man, I just want someone to do this for me, that's what we do. So we can help with that. We'll put a link in the description of the video below to our market research report for restaurants specifically. And we'll also put a link to a form that you can fill out and get a coupon to get a discount on that service. So you'll fill out the form, you'll get emailed a coupon code that you can use at checkout and take a discount on the market research report. So if you have any questions at all, you can reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com, and we'd be happy to help. Thanks.